If you stick your fingers in the soil here, and you can see there's little rocks, it's very sandy, very coarse in your hands. That's a lot more pore space for the water to go away after a rainstorm, which allows us to get back in the field, harvesting the crops sooner, easier, and more efficiently with less damage to the soil during the winter season. So this is a piece of property that's very, very key for us for winter production based on that soil type. It's also one of the ones that we have the shortest term lease on. So just the kind of work that we've been talking about. Once again, it's very, very important that we try and secure some other farms around the area and just keep up that work, because the soil type, the Delta farm is, it's less than a mile away, just right over there, but vastly different soil type there. A lot about the winter gardening is not that you're growing things all winter so much as you're planting them at the appropriate time so that they hang out and wait to be picked during the winter.
This is vetch. Vetch loves wet ground. It'll take over. That's vetch. Vetch is a legume. It fixes nitrogen into the soil. It has the ability to take nitrogen out of the air because it lives in a symbiotic relationship with a bacterium nodule. It attaches itself to the roots. And this is how we build up nitrogen in the soil is this cover crop. But right now, this is a good way to winter over. How much?
So again, we're pushing the seasonal envelope here. Last year I planted some late radishes and they did really well. And this year I decided I was going to plant more late radishes. And once a week through all of October and even into a couple weeks into November, I planted radishes. And when I got to the last couple plantings, I planted a lot at once, not knowing what was going to happen, whether or not they were actually going to make little radishes or not, because I'd never planted them before. I think I have the best job in the world because I get to constantly experiment and I get the free card to do it, and sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it makes the farm money, and it's a wonderful, wonderful way to do it. There's a lot of radishes out here that are coming on quite nicely, and I expect that, in another month we're going to be eating tons and tons of radishes here. We've got a lot of arugula as well. We've got radishes and things that we've already picked out just a little bit further there. Yeah.
Some of the advantages of having, a variety of soils, different locations. One person just commented and asked about, so far from the farm, but we aren't. The packing shed is about 1 minute away by a truck. We just took you the long way around.
This machine here is called a Scott Viner machine by the designer's name. It picks carrots. It's the reality behind when you get to a certain scale and the idea that you have to be able to make money to keep doing it, that you resort towards efficiencies. This machine, with 4 of us working, we can harvest 600 pounds of carrots, 700 pounds of carrots in a matter of about 2.5 minutes from one end of the field to the other. Yeah. So the idea is there's a foot under here, it guts under, loosens the soil a little bit. There's a couple of belts. They grab the carrots by the tops. The greens are sticking off in it. The belts pinch the tops. The belts are moving backwards at an angle at about the same speed that the tractor and machine are driving forward. So essentially it's pulling the carrot straight up. Pulls it back up into the midst of the machine here. There's a set of these ingenious knives that kind of do this coming together thing. They grab the tops, it feeds the tops in, it pulls the carrot up. When the carrot reaches the knives, it doesn't cut them, it's kind of rounded on the bottom, it just pops off the top. The carrot drops down onto a belt, runs onto the other one, up there, slides down the chute. There's a pickup truck.
Oh, I've got one, thanks. I'm okay.
A carrot's not a carrot's not a carrot, There's a lot of different types of carrots out there. There's a lot of different types of cabbages out there. There's a lot of different types of everything out there. Part of what we're doing is not just selecting varieties that will stand out here for the winter, but we're selecting varieties that taste good.
We do use machinery, but you got to use appropriate machinery in order to make things work right. Because, what we're trying to do here is do a quality job, quality product.